Hey gang, it's your boy, me. It's been a while since I've just talked to you directly to let you know what's going on, with me and the channel. And I don't want to take up too much of your time and ramble on for too long, so let's just get right into things. No messing about. So first things first, I know what you're all asking, and yes, I did. I got my first tattoo, and yes, it's from Coraline. It's very, very nice. I enjoy it very, very much. Also, you may have seen if you follow me on Twitter, which you should. Link in the description somewhere, I'm sure. I bought my first house. It's not this house, obviously. We'll be moving into that in a couple of weeks, I hope. We're just finishing up some decorating and we're going to be moving in. So, yes, I'm very tired at the moment, if you haven't been able to tell. So, we'll probably talk about the main topic of the channel and what I've really made this update to talk about, which is, of course, everyone's favourite game to not play, Warhammer 3. So, the patch 1.1 did okay for the game, it fixed some things. It made the Chaos Realms campaign, or Realms of Chaos, whatever you want to call it, a bit more playable, a bit more of a sandbox, but it's worn off, the play base of Warhammer 2 isn't growing. It's just that it's higher than Warhammer 3, because Warhammer 3 is just absolutely flatlining right now, and it is it's pretty depressing to say the least. And aside from the patch, we've heard no news about Immortal Empires. We've not even heard any news about the Blood Pack, which is like cosmetic DLC. I know that that's not going to change anything, but it's something. It's something new. It's not just, oh yes, here's the same campaign that no one wants to play. We've changed it again. It's like, who the fuck cares? No one's playing it. Everyone just wants Immortal Empires. And until that happens, I don't think that the playbase is really going to come back much. Each patch might, inject a little bit of resurgence, but like, what more can they patch? 1.1 fixed most of the issues with the Realms of Chaos. It made it so that you can play a sandbox if you really want. All of the AIs won't, so it's a little bit weird, and it's not exactly a complete sandbox, but it's as good as it's going to get. What can they do now? Balance patches, fix bugs. We need something new, otherwise the game is just going to sit there and stagnate and die, and the play basically going to become smaller and smaller, and the chance that people are going to come back is become smaller and smaller. Immortal Empires needs to come out for the game to have even a chance of reaching even a fraction of the play base that we saw on launch. I'm not expecting the play base to get anywhere close to that 160,000 just on Steam, which, when you add up everything else, could be like 200, 300,000. I don't know, okay? It's irrelevant because I don't think it's going to get even close to that. I'm not sure it's even going to get to the steady play base that Warhammer 2 had. If you weren't around for that time, Warhammer 2, when you went on Steam charts, pretty much all the time was hovering around 20,000-ish players, wasn't it? Yeah, throughout most of its actual lifespan before Warhammer 3 came out and for some reason absolutely kneecapped it, it was hovering around even higher, 30,000, 33,000, and then some dips to, 20,000 here and there. The game was consistently popular and became more popular over time, which is strange. Doesn't really happen when a game, it's getting consistent updates, but these aren't cheap updates, and it can't really bring more people to play the game, since it's like, oh, you want to play this new content? Well, buy this, buy the last game, buy all this DLC. But that's what happened, and I'm not confident that Warhammer 3 is going to be able to recreate this, because people are annoyed, they feel betrayed, they feel let down, and like, from how irritated a lot of people are with the launch of Warhammer 3, you really think that they're all just going to be like, oh, what's that, Immortal Empires out? Pfft, I forgive you for the Realms of Chaos, I'm going to come back. Of course, some people are, a lot of people are waiting for Immortal Empires, but are they going to come back? Like, is everyone going to come back? I'm really not entirely sure. Most people aren't having fun with the game, and when you don't have fun, just like, whenever I launch Warhammer 3, it's not associated with having fun, it's associated with, okay, I've got to make a video now. I'm not having fun with the game. I never play it in my spare time, and granted, I didn't play Warhammer 2 in my spare time very much, but I'd occasionally just open up, like, even a Vortex campaign, just for a quick bit of fun, open up Immortal Empires and just, play, Zombie Apocalypse as the vampire counts, just for a bit of fun. I did enjoy it, and every time I open it, I'd be like, oh, I'd be tempted to play a bit. Warhammer 3, I'm never tempted to play it, and it's going to be hard to shake that feeling when Immortal Empires comes. And just to clear some things up, I am excited for Immortal Empires. I do think the big map is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to play as all the other factions, but how long is it going to take? We have no idea. We have no information. They said multiple times, oh yeah, we're going to be more open, we're going to communicate things with you, and then they've said, we don't have anything to communicate with you, so either they're not communicating, or there really is nothing going on behind the scenes, and Immortal Empires is just in a state of nothing is happening with it. Like, they've just shelved it just to, like, work on patching the game. But at this point, what more can they patch? So I have no interest in playing the game at the moment. I don't love making videos for it at the moment, like, because I don't enjoy the game, and the entire reason that I started making, guides to Warhammer 2 is because I enjoyed playing the game and I want to help people play it better and, learn how to enjoy it like I did. I was not enjoying Warhammer 2 when I first played it, and then I learned how to play it through brute force and Tyrion, best boy to learn the game as. And then I started really, really loving it and really enjoyed playing all the different races and learning how all their separate mechanics worked and teaching people. But now, I mean, granted, I've done all the race guides, so, like, I've kind of taken the big meat out of the game. I'm not really super interested in playing it. I've got a couple more guide videos. Like, I've got the rest of the, let me just have a look at my plan here. Got the rest of the spells, a couple of features, a complete beginner's guide. I think that'd be quite useful. That one might be a little bit of fun. But other than that, like, I don't have a lot of videos planned for Warhammer 3. Like, when Immortal Empires, if it ever comes out, I do plan to redo all the guides in the new format because I think that that'll be quite valuable to get them. Because I had the updates, but then to do that, you have to watch the old guide and then kind of forget some stuff about the old guide to watch the updates. And it's a terrible format, but Warhammer 2 was just ending, so I was like, you know what? It won't really matter because I'm going to have to remake this in a couple of months. Anyway, so until Immortal Empires comes out, I'm not super duper excited to create content for the game. I've finished off all the spell guides and stuff, but it's going to come to a point that if the Immortal Empires doesn't come out, I'm going to kind of run out of channel ideas. Like, I can do lists and stuff, but how long can those realistically go on for? And it's going to come to the point where I'm going to have to be like, okay, you know what? I'm taking a break from Warhammer 3. I'm just going to cover some other stuff mainly. It's really like happy to say that I don't really have any interest in, hardcore creating content for this game from the same series of the game that literally built the channel. Well, I built the channel on, if we're going to get actually down to semantics, but I just don't love it as much as I used to. Not making videos. I still love making videos, just not about this sort of thing. Now, there's not really much that I can do about, this content drought or, the returns I get from it. I know no one cares about YouTube stats other than, the person that owns the channel. But just for some context, with the, I don't want to say death of Warhammer 3, but the severe injury and massive hemorrhaging of Warhammer 3, the channel is shaping up to do its worst month that I can see on in a YouTube thing. It lets you see like the last 12 months worth of views, and April 2022 shaping up to be the worst one I can currently see in a year, and I think before that it'd probably be the worst since like the summer of 2020, because that was a particularly low period. And granted, this isn't just the fault of Warhammer 3, it's also my fault. I should have built the foundations of the channel wider, covered more games from the get-go, covered more types of content from the get-go, and then built it, each thing up at once rather than just going, oh, Warhammer 2 is doing well, let's just focus on that solely for like 3 years. And then whilst the game series isn't doing too well, so the channel kind of is going with it. Yeah, that is my fault, and in a way, it's almost a good thing this has happened because it's really a wake-up call that I need, to build those foundations wider. And otherwise, this sort of thing is just bound to happen at some point. And that is why you've been seeing a bunch of new games recently. We covered Jurassic World Evolution, Chaos Gate, Anno 1800. Absolutely love that game. Honestly, if I run out of Warhammer 3 ideas, I might just start covering a load of stuff for Anno 1800 because there's loads of DLC, there's loads of little different tips and tricks, all sorts of brilliant things that you can go into super duper amounts of detail on. And of course, trying out these new games is an attempt to build those foundations of the channel, to attract a wider audience of, oh, if you play Anno, then you might enjoy these videos, as well as if you play Chaos Gate, Jurassic World Evolution, Total War, blah, blah, blah. Also, it's just enjoyable trying out new games and talking about new things because it's something new and exciting rather than Total War Warhammer videos, which at this point are fairly automatic to create. And as I said, not a lot of fun right now. Now, if you're not aware, I've been making YouTube videos on and off for about 11 years, not always on this channel, but for over half my life, I've been interested in making videos and uploading them to YouTube. And then once, people actually, because obviously when you make videos start, no one watches them. No one's going to watch some kid making, Tech It episode number 1, terrible SEO. And no one did watch it, apart from like my 2 friends, which I basically just forced to watch it. And they were like, yeah, it's great. They were lying. Okay, I know you're trying to be nice, but you were lying. They were terrible. But once people actually start watching your videos, it's a really great feeling. Like, even at the start when, like, I remember the first Vampire Counts campaign guide came out. I went to work, came back, and it was at like 500 views. I was like, that's the craziest fucking thing I've ever seen. I thought 500 views was like, that's it. We made it now. I thought that was, the highest it was ever going to get. And then, of course, the channel kept growing. And I am, of course, eternally grateful. I don't mean like I sound very sincere when I say thank you very much, I appreciate it. It sounds really like I'm being fake and shit. But I genuinely mean this. Thank you for watching the videos, subscribing, for liking, and if you've supported, with Twitch stuff, if you've supported by buying merch, anything like that, if you've supported in a direct way, I want you to know I appreciate it more than I can accurately put into words. Making YouTube videos, as I've said, it's been something I've wanted to do for 11 plus years of my life, and you doing that does help me achieve a small microcosm of that dream. And it's not something that I wanted to do because I want to become a gorillionaire like PewDiePie and retire at 35. It's because I just like doing it. I like making videos. I like people watching them. It's a great feeling. And who doesn't want to do the things that they enjoy? And I think I need to go back a bit to that stage, get a better mindset of just make videos because I like making videos. Make videos about stuff that, I want to make videos on. What games do I enjoy at the moment? I really love Anno 1800. I love Stellaris. Believe it or not, I've been playing a bit of Overwatch. Excited for Overwatch 2, play it with my friends. They're not the most comfortable being on camera, which is fine. But, I might be able to squeeze a little bit of content here and there if I use some creative audio manipulation. Because, there's not enough Overwatch YouTubers. There wasn't when the first game came out. When 2 comes out, we'll definitely need some more. Anyway. But yeah, I enjoy all sorts of games. And of course, I enjoy watching films and TV. Who doesn't? Ooh, these are some basic interests. But I would love to make some videos on all sorts of things. And I'm going to try to come to this in just a moment. Now, I'm saying that I'm just going to pivot to doing like completely random content. Like one week, we've got a Warhammer video, and then we've got Anno 1800. And then we've got some random Netflix show, and then some random film that no one's ever seen, and then Overwatch. It's like, no, I'm not going to do that because that'd be, well, pretty much just a torpedo to the channel. And I don't really want to do that, but I'm going to experiment more. So to lay out some videos coming in the future, I'm partway through writing a beginner's guide to Stellaris, and that is shaping up to be a big boy. That game is incredibly chunky, and trying to explain, everything that a beginner needs to know. It's rough, okay? There's a lot of stuff in that game. The video is probably going to be, 25, 30 minutes at the very least, so prepare yourself for that. But on top of this, I also quite like the idea of doing these complete beginner's guides because it contains everything that you need to know to start playing the game. And then if people enjoy that, I can create more content for that, which is definitely something I want to do. So other games that I'd like to do is for Civilization 6. It's been out a very long time, but I love the Civ series. Granted, I played a lot more of 5 than 6, but I've been looking to, try and really get into 6 and understand it a lot more. Hearts of Iron 4, that's another game that is very popular, and I've always kind of looked at it and thought, that looks very interesting, but never got into it. City Skylines, which I adore, Crusader Kings 3, and EU4, which are kind of like Hearts of Iron. I haven't played them much, but they do look very interesting. Now, as I said, some of these games I played a lot of. Some of these games I've yet to fully get into. So if I get into it and I'm like, wow, this is boring as hell, and I don't enjoy it, then you might not see those videos, but you'll probably see at least a couple of the ones here. And of course, if you have any other games you'd like to see complete beginner's guides or any other types of videos for, then just leave a comment and I'll take a look. I'd also love to do some stuff that's a bit more clip-based, playing with people and coming up with the best bits from that. I know that's not like the most original content, but I love that type of video where it's just someone playing with their friends and having a great time, laughing, making jokes, and then cutting it up into a video. I just think it's a really just fun and digestible content. I love just watching that. And, makes you feel like part of the gang, which is nice when you have no friends. Now, aside from gaming stuff, I, of course, really enjoy movie videos, and I would love to do more of that, even if it's not on this channel. And yes, I know that starting a second channel is a bunch of work, believe me. I've started, how many channels? I've probably tried to start my original channel maybe 3 or 4, 5, a lot of times, and this channel I've tried to start twice, once successfully. So believe me, I know how much work it is, and it's not like I'm just going to split my time, burn myself out completely. I'll probably just upload mainly on this channel for gaming, and then this unnamed movie channel I'll just upload to every so often when I have something that I feel is, something I want to make, and that, I can take a bit more time and not be under this constant upload schedule pressure. So some examples of non-gaming content. There's a Netflix show, Behind Her Eyes, as the dumbest twist I've ever seen. I'd love to do a whole video just explaining my unbridled rage about this series. It was, oh my god, the hair is terrible, folks. I'm so sorry. But yeah, it was just so dumb. I'd love to make a video about that. I'd also quite love to do a kill count series for superhero movies. Now, of course, mentioned kill count, gotta mention Dead Meat. They made kill count genre what it is today. So full credit goes to them for the inspiration. I'm not all pretending this is an original idea, but the guy, James A. Janice, lovely fella from what I've seen of him. He said he'd never touch anything that is not horror or horror adjacent. So, Marvel films won't really count that. And I just think it'd be really fun to, apply that same idea of content. You know, you've got the kill count, explain the movie, and then also a bit of background information about how they did certain things in the movie. Although in Marvel, that just basically, yeah, they just kind of threw money and technology at the problem because they had an infinite budget. Interesting, I know. Yeah, I think it'd be quite fun to see, you know, who has the highest body count in the MCU. You know, obviously it's Thanos, we'd have to limit something like on-screen kills. Anyway, but yeah, I think the future of this channel is I'm going to try to keep this channel gaming related. And then if I have anything to do with movies, you know, I'll create a second channel for that. And then that'll just keep things tidy and easy for everyone to keep track of. Of course, if I make anything on a random second channel, I'll probably mention it here just to, you know, direct some attention to it to start off with. But the main content of this channel will remain gaming. But don't expect me to just cover Warhammer 3. As I said, I'm actively looking for something to take main coverage over, or at least, you know, take Warhammer 3 content down to half, if not less, especially until the game gets that big update. Of course, when Mortal Empires comes out, if it's a lot of fun and I'm enjoying it, I'll probably just dive back in, grinding out those guides as fast as possible. But until that point, you know, I'm not going to lie to you and pretend like everything is all right and I'm loving Warhammer 3 when I'm not. Until the game is interesting to me again, I'm not going to force myself to create a ton of content from it that, quite frankly, I don't really want to force myself to make, and you don't really want to see. You know, like, you'll get the odd bits here and there. Like, I'm going to finish those spell guides and do some lists and stuff, as I mentioned. But aside from that, things are probably going to be slowing down. So I hope that wasn't too rambling. It made sense. I'm sorry if this isn't what you wanted to hear. As I said, I'm super grateful for the support over the years from Total War Warhammer fans, and I'm not abandoning you. I'm just trying to find a way to keep making videos without turning it into something that I dread doing. I don't want to come to make a video and be like, oh, I have to work on Total War Warhammer 3. Oh, I don't want to do that. I want to be excited to work on videos, and I hope that the content in future reflects that excitement. I feel like if I make content that excites me, then that reflects in the quality of the video. As I mentioned, editing that face-off video, I was so excited doing it. I was loving every single thing, and content like that is a lot of fun for me, and I think it results in a much more entertaining product, even if, you know, it wasn't for everyone, which is completely fine. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything for now. Like I said, if there are any videos that you'd like to see from moi, then leave them in the comments down below. Of course, like, sub, all that stuff, and really appreciate your support. As I said, can't put it into words, but I really, really do. Especially, got to thank the supporters, Adam T, Dominic Schmass, Henry Tucker, for their support. I really can't thank every single supporter enough. Honestly, it means the world to me. Thank you to every single person for watching. For now, it's been me, COLONELDAMNEDERS, and I will see you next turn.